Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So for today I wanted to go through my eyeshadow palette collection and pick out the best launches of this year so far. So I have 10 eyeshadow palettes that I personally feel like they were the best palettes to launch in 2024 so far, and I have 2 bonus ones. So if you want to hear about the best eyeshadow palettes that have launched, then please stick around for today's video and make sure you are subscribed before leaving today. I really do appreciate you so much for being here. Let's just jump right into it. This is not a ranking. I just, like I said, pulled out my favorites because, man, the brands love to launch eyeshadow palettes, especially indie brands, and these are the ones I think are just like the best so far. First, I have to give it to ADEPT Cosmetics. This is the Flying Fiddles palette. This is a neutral lover's dream. This is like spicy neutrals. They're not boring. You get a whole bunch of beautiful shimmers in here, and you get some beautiful mattes to ground the palette, and you do have this beautiful blue to really like give it a fun pop. I just adore this one so much. I had to mention it. This is actually what inspired the video. I've been using this a lot, and I was like, you know what? I think it would be so helpful if I just shout out some palettes. Maybe you're trying to figure out what palette you want to actually buy, and these are palettes that I love and I've been reaching for. So Flying Fiddles definitely has my heart. Next, I have to mention this one from ENSLEY Cosmetics. This is the Groovy Garden palette. Guys, this is the prettiest, earthy, yummy, fall, year-round, spring palette. Like, it's everything to me. I love the way that they, honestly, like the way they organize it with like the lighter tone mattes, the beautiful shimmers, and then the deeper mattes in here, and then some beautiful pops in here as well. This palette truly is stunning. The quality is next level. If you have not tried ENSLEY Rain, just know they're like my tippity top favorite eyeshadow palette formulation, and this color story has my heart. My grungy loving self adores this one, and I think that there's something for everyone. The quality, the multi-chromes, it's 10 out of 10. These two just like, they're absolutely beautiful, but I knew without a doubt this Groovy Garden had to be in the mix, and I know it's going to be really high up at the very end of the year ranking, because whenever I'm not testing out new eyeshadow palettes, I reach for that one quite often. Next, this is actually a newer brand. This is the KRYPTEIN Cosmetics brand. They launched a new palette. This is Burnt Forest. When I tell you, actually this is the one I have on my eyes today. I adore this one. Speaking of earthy tones and just like spicy neutrals, that's what you get in here. I love the fact that we have some neutral mattes in here, some greens because that's also neutral, a black, and the shimmers are absolutely stunning. They're not like boring basic neutrals. They're sparkly, some are shifty. There's a beautiful multi-chrome in this palette that will knock your socks off. The quality is absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait to see what is to come from this brand, because holy moly does this palette have my heart. Similar to these three, whenever I'm not testing out palettes, I don't mean to be repetitive, but these are just some of the palettes in my collection that I'm reaching for, hence is why I'm making this video and trying to help you out. If you're like, what do I get? What do I get? There's so many palettes. Like, what is actually good? What are you reaching for? Next, this one is out of my comfort zone, but I had to mention it because Wizard from Fantasy Cosmetica made me really enjoy blues. I'm telling you, I love the quality, and I feel like every single time they launch a palette, it gets better and better. They have introduced like a hollow chrome in here. It's got beautiful hollow specs with, it's a multi-chrome as well, and it's blue, it's purple, it's beautiful. I love that they added like these yellow creams in here, the lightness, the darkness. There's so much versatility in this palette, and it's coming from someone that feels, honestly, I feel very uncomfortable when I wear blues. This palette makes me inspired, so I had to mention it. I love the Fantasy Cosmetica formulation, and I think if you're a blue lover, you probably, one, already have this in your collection, but two, pull it out and use it because it is such a beautiful palette. Okay, next, this one's kind of cheating, and you'll see why. I have 2 others as well. This one launched at the very end of 2023. I'm like, wait, what year is it? This is Cold Moon from ENSLEY Cosmetics. So I feel like, yes, it launched at the end of the year, but most of us, unless we got it in PR, we would have gotten it this year. And obviously I got it this year. I'm telling you, the way this palette has a chokehold on me, ENSLEY in general, These are next level yumminess, sparkly multi-chromes. They're not basic neutrals. They are just extra yummy, and just, it's soft color. That's the way I honestly like to describe it. Yes, you could get a very beautiful mauve tone of like a gray, pinky, but the way the shimmers just kind of shift when you're going through your day-to-day basis, everyone's like, whoa, 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 stop, what's on your eyes? Whenever people compliment my eye makeup that have no, like, they don't care about makeup, that's when I'm like, okay, that's a good palette. If someone stops me in my tracks and like, what's on your eyes, then, you know, obviously, you know, you have a good palette. Cold Moon just, they killed it with this palette. Next, this is from Gourmande Girls Cosmetics in collaboration with Steph's Beauty Stash. This is another one out of my comfort zone, but the way this palette is so unique to my collection and the way it inspires me. Granted, it is spring, so obviously that's why I'm reaching for this one more. This is a New Life palette. They did an amazing job. The quality is phenomenal. I love the color story. I don't have many neons in my collection, and the fact that you get some neons, you get some softer tones, the shimmers, they just look wet. They're so beautiful. They did an amazing job with this palette, and for someone who doesn't reach for color that often, for me to love this palette says a lot. Just the way that whenever I swatched this palette, I made sure to do it in monochromatic rose, and that was like all I needed, because when I opened it, I say this often, I was like, oh, like color overload, like what am I gonna do? But if you just stick to like a monochromatic look, or just like monochromatic on the lid and a fun pop, I'm telling you, you're gonna like this palette. Next, let's talk about Nomad Cosmetics. They are getting better and better with their eyeshadow palettes. I have two to mention. First, I'm going to start off with the Ireland Wild Atlantic Way palette. I have been reaching for this constantly. I'm testing out a bunch of palettes for the month of March, and this is the one that I have reached for the absolute most. For me, the star of the show in this palette, I gravitate more towards the mattes. They are so yummy and beautiful. I don't know. I look at this palette and it makes me happy, but green is one of my favorite colors and favorite colors to wear on my eyes at that. The shimmers are lovely. This is just 10 out of 10 for me personally. Sorry, I just joked. I don't even, the pollen is in the air and my allergies are just bad. They are bad, bad, bad right now. I love the shimmers. I just feel inspired. I like that it's not just greens. You get some blues and some neutrals. I see it and I actually smile because it makes me so happy. If you're a green lover, hello, Nomad has got you covered. Next, from Nomad, this is the New Zealand Stargazing palette. This one knocked my socks plumb off my feet. This is so beautiful. They have added some shifty shades. The mattes are beautiful. Typical with Nomad, mattes are always there, but sometimes their shimmers are hit and miss, or sometimes they change the formula on us. They like to keep us like on our toes, you know. This is my favorite shimmer formula they have ever done. They are so smooth. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like an eyeshadow because it is that smooth, and I absolutely love the iridescent shades in here. I see this palette and it inspires me. It can be bold and jewel tone all at the same time, but I love the cool tone of it, and I like that they added some of these more softer shades to really ground the palette for me. I love it so much. When I first opened it, like, it took my breath away because it's beautiful, the packaging, the color story, but I'm like, oh wait, hold up, this is a little colorful for me, but at the same time, it was so beautiful. The formulation is just delicious. Next, this is from ColourPop. Yes, you heard me right. My indie loving heart actually has, well, just one mainstream brand. Okay, this drugstore, whatever you call ColourPop. This is the Twilight palette. I did scoop out their shadow, so I am cheating because I'm mixing indie shimmers. But the packaging has my heart. I love Twilight. I love the books. I love the movies, even though they're cringy. It's just like funny, and I watch them too many times to admit on camera, because you'll make fun of me how often I watch this show. I don't know. It's just comforting for me. I love my beautiful indie shimmers I added in here. But before I dug out all of their shimmers, they were fine. I'm not gonna lie, like, they were fine. I didn't like the new, or it's like the glitter shimmer formulation. Other than that, I liked the palette, but indie has my heart, and I had to give it all this sparkle and shift and yumminess. I think the packaging's cute. It's kind of like cringy like the movie at the same time, you know what I mean? You get the feel. I think they did an amazing job. The color story and everything. Yes, I did this pop of orange, but I reach for this one so often. This entire, like, stack of palettes just inspires me, and that's why I had to film this. I was like, because I just knew maybe it would help y'all out, because there's so many palettes launching, and I know there's so many about to launch because so many brands are like sneak peeking. And then this one I wanted to add, but keep in mind this is a very new to my collection. I'm testing it out still, but this is Cyborg Choir from ADEPT Cosmetics, very new to my collection. I wanted to mention it because I think it is such a fun color story. It is unique to my collection. I don't have a lot of palettes like this in my collection specifically. I will say that these three shades are right here, 1, 2, and 3. They are very soft and squishy, so if you have issues with creasing, you may have issues with those. And the rest is like a flaky mess, but I love it. I love a good texture moment. The holochrome specifically, you need a good glitter glue to keep them on your eyes so they don't travel everywhere, but I love this. And this shade right here, it's Rainbow Pastel Dream. It is such a beautiful multi-chrome. I love the mattes, and you would think, like, as someone who really just loves her neutrals, these are fun and they're beautiful. These two you do have to build up quite a bit, I'm not gonna lie. But I love it. I love it, and I love the pop of yellow. So I did want to mention it, but like I said, this is newer to my collection. Is a formulation absolute perfection across the board? It's like flying fiddle. No, because it's textured, it's flakiness, some are soft and creamy, and it's not going to get on with everyone's oily eyelids or hooded eyes, but I love it. I love the beautiful uniqueness to my collection that it gives. It's fun, but still I feel confident wearing it. And there's two more that I wanted to mention, a very last. If you're still here, that means you typically watch my channel often. And let me get it. These launched last year, but they entered my collection this year. These two are from, sorry, my southern accent tends to come out every once in a while. the Lord have mercy.
Today, Junior!
These are from UNEARTHLY Cosmetics. I always struggle to say that brand. We have got Sorcerer Smoke, and we also have Dreamer. These are so beautiful. Oh my goodness, the formulation, I want to see this always from them. This is Sorcerer Smoke, neutral, green, grungy. I mean, everyone's gonna love this palette. It is just next level. Next, I wanted to mention Dreamer. It is such a beautiful cool tone palette. It's not just a basic gray palette. There's so much more to this. You have blues, you have purple, you have pink, mauve shades. This gray is so fun. Even the holochrome and like the silvers in here, the Gunsmoke. I just love the champagne. I love this palette so much. But anyways, guys, those are like my tippity top favorite picks of palettes that have launched this year. Some honorable mentions from last year that I picked up. Please let me know down below some of your tippity top picks that have launched. What are some on your wish list? Because realistically, you're probably not like a cuckoo and crazy like me and getting all these palettes. Luckily, I was able to get some in PR, some I purchased myself. But what are some on your wish list, and what are some that you purchased? That's going to do it for today's video. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.